As cities around the world become more and more crowded, governments are constantly looking for ways to solve traffic, environmental, and economical problems for our growing cities. Some of these cities feature futuristic building design, and others implement cutting-edge technology. Join us as we take a fascinating look at futuristic cities that are currently being built around the world. Welcome to Crazy Amazing Things, the channel where you'll find the most crazy and the most amazing things on the planet. We cover the latest products in your home and out in the wide open spaces of nature. You'll also find videos on interesting places around the world and mind-blowing technology. Check out the channel for more amazing videos and subscribe so you don't miss out. Be amazed, be entertained, and be informed. Diamniadio Lake City. Senegal is a country in West Africa, and its capital is Dakar. You may have seen the Dakar Rally, where drivers race through the Sahara Desert, from Paris to Dakar. Anyway, the government of Senegal have approved the development of a futuristic township called Diamniadio Lake City. Its purpose is to reduce the congestion in the capital city of Dakar and stimulate economic growth. The project will cost $2 billion and should be completed by 2035. The city will feature futuristic buildings. Among them will be the Abu Dhaif International Conference Center, the Dakar area for sports, and an exhibition center. Construction began in 2017, so keep an eye out to see how they are progressing. Nusantara. Indonesia's capital city is Jakarta, and because it's grown so rapidly, it's become overcrowded and congested with traffic. But its main problem is that it's sinking into the ocean at a rate of 6 inches per year. Because of this, the government of Indonesia have decided to build an entirely new capital city. The city will be called Nusantara, and construction began in July 2022, and the total construction cost is estimated to be around $35 billion. The city will look to use public transport for 80% of its population, and the entire project will be built in 5 stages. The COVID pandemic has resulted in some delays to the project, but the government seems incredibly committed to getting it finished. Up to 200,000 workers are currently working on the project in the hope that Phase 5 will be completed by 2045. King Abdullah, Economic City. Saudi Arabia has become extremely wealthy from its oil deposits, so its government announced its plans to build a futuristic city at a staggering cost of around $55 billion. Announced in 2005, the plan was that this city would become one of the world's most competitive investment destinations. It would feature ports, railways, and industrial factories, creating business opportunities in multiple sectors of industry. The city will cover an area roughly the size of Washington, D.C., and house up to 2 million people. The city is supposed to be the jewel of the Middle East, but ongoing delays have meant that only 40% of the project has been completed, and there are currently only about 10,000 residents living there. Many of the completed villas are currently empty, so we'll have to wait and see if the project is completed and successfully achieves its goals. Forest City Liuzhou, China. Many cities in China are growing at such a rapid rate that pollution is becoming a problem they need to tackle. Liuzhou Forest City has been designed as a test case for a more environmentally friendly city. The idea behind it is that all its buildings will be covered in plants and trees. Its design aims to make the city as close to carbon neutral as possible. So far, one of the buildings that can house 500 people has already been built, but their goal is to make an entire city of buildings covered in plants. The finished city will house up to 30,000 people, 40,000 trees, and more than 1 million plants of varying species. Bunker City in Finland. Helsinki may be the only city in the world that has an underground master plan. Construction of the vast underground network began in the 1980s and continues to this day. Helsinki now has almost 10 million square meters of underground spaces and tunnels that conceal a subterranean art museum, a church, a swimming hall, shops, and even a karting track. inside a civil defense shelter. A 40-meter deep reservoir is also located beneath the city center that holds 35 million liters of water. The city is capable of housing 900,000 people and is built to withstand a potential nuclear threat. This is truly amazing, considering Helsinki's current population is just 600,000 people. Combine this bunker city with an incredibly strong Finnish army, and you can see that this country is ready for anything. Nurkant. Kazakhstan shares its eastern border with China and is part of China's Belt and Road Initiative to build a rail, road, and sea infrastructure for economic development and trade with China. Nurkant is a futuristic town, currently being built along this new Silk Road. It's received significant funding from China, and the idea behind it is that it will support a workforce of around 100,000 workers for the nearby border city of Horgoz. A Chinese logistic company has a 49% share of the land, and its hope is that Nurkant will be a gateway community to the rest of Europe. Although there are currently only 1,200 people living there, the development is due to be completed by 2035. With the current financial crisis around the world affecting China, it remains to be seen if this project will reach completion or not. Atlantic City. You may not know this, but Nigeria is an extremely wealthy country with vast oil reserves. Its government and some private partnerships are using some of this vast wealth to create Atlantic City in a public-private partnership. It's being built on man-made islands, reclaimed from the ocean, off the coast of the capital city of Lagos. It's quite a sizable area of land they are reclaiming, and an 8.5-kilometer-long seawall will protect the area from severe storms. The city is designed to be self-sufficient and sustainable, with buildings featuring state-of-the-art designs. It will have its own power generation, drinking water, spacious roads, and tree-lined streets. When completed, the city will house a population of 250,000 people, which is a tiny fraction of Nigeria's 230 million population. Chongqing, China. About 60 miles south of the center of Beijing, a new city is being built as a showcase of high-tech, ecologically friendly development. Its massive high-speed rail station and city brain data center have been heralded by Chinese state media as evidence of the speed and superiority of China's growth model. It's because the city is a signature initiative of Chinese President Xi Jinping. Chongqing new area is also a test for whether China can boost domestic innovation and climb into the ranks of advanced nations in the face of slowing economic growth. Chongqing is designed to be larger in area than New York City, with a planned population of 3 million residents. The Chinese government plans to relocate many businesses and people into this new city to ensure its success. Aachen City. By far one of the most ambitious projects we have on this list is Aachen City. In 2018, the American singer and recording artist Aachen announced his plans to build a futuristic city in Senegal, and he hoped to attract $6 billion to the project. Aachen said he was inspired by the movie Black Panther, and he refers to Aachen City as a real-life Wakanda that uses the latest technologies of blockchain and cryptocurrency. The planned city that Aachen envisioned would feature condominiums, offices, parks, a university, an ocean resort, and a 5,000-bed hospital. As yet, Phase 1 of the project is yet to be completed, and all we have to go on are artistic renderings of what the city is planned to look like. Well, that's the first of our two-part series on incredible futuristic cities. Be sure to check out our channel, subscribe, and keep a lookout for part 2. See you in the next video.